amazing how many people are here and how many qualifications, how many skills and how many nationalities.
We're here for the first time and we've already talked to a lot of people, and organization is great. Everyone's very friendly.
I was very positively surprised that so many visitors came here to the fair to get in contact with us as employers.
It's great. I love it. I got to meet a lot of people from all around the world. The food is great, and the venue is amazing. Everyone's so nice.
The environment is relaxed. Like there's no that it's kind of like afraid to approach people and to engage in a conversation.
It's very good. It's very well organized, and I've met a lot of interesting people.
I had a great experience. I was able to meet so many interesting people. You can really see that they are looking for improvements on their careers, and we are really looking forward to the opportunity of meeting some of them back in our office.
A lot of people who were very interested in details, and I like to answer detailed questions and are not only scratching on the surface, so that was pretty cool.
I'm very surprised by the quality of the potential candidates. They're all very interested, very motivated, and it's very positive.
I think it's great. It's very nice. There's a lot more people than I expected. But I'm having great conversations with everybody, and it's amazing to get to know that many people at once.
I was at the Tech Jobs Fair in Berlin, and I love coming out here. You get to meet so many different faces, and I think people come from all over the world just to get to not only know your company, but just what's going on in Vienna, and just to see this beautiful city.
It's as enriching for me as a participant as it is for the visitors. Very high level, very ambitious people here today. It's fantastic.
I've literally met so many incredible people. I never thought I could network with so many people. I think I've added another 300 people on LinkedIn just being here today, it feels like. Yeah, I think it's one of the best job fairs I've ever been to.
Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to all of you to the Tech Jobs Fair Canada and US 2025. I'm 𝗘𝘃𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗫, and I'm delighted to be your host for today on behalf of the entire team of Tech Jobs Fair. We are so excited to have you join us for this virtual gathering where talents will meet opportunity in the ever-evolving tech landscape. So, before we dive into a lot of insightful speaking sessions, a big thank you to each one of you for being here, whether you're looking for your next role or you're looking for a career pivot or simply stay updated on industry trends, you are in the right place. So now, before we begin and before I invite our speaker who will address this gathering, I have a small poll out here for all of you that you can tell me how are you feeling about today. So you can see the poll and you might start voting. Now, without further ado, I would like to introduce Ms. 𝗘𝘃𝗲𝗵𝗶, Head of Business and Growth at Tech Jobs Fair. Hello, Bindu. How are you feeling today?
Hi, 𝗘𝘃𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗫. I'm doing good, thank you.
Awesome. So yes, you can tell us a bit about the fair and what our attendees can look forward to today.
Okay, so I'm glad that we are live. And yes, I'm glad to welcome everyone today to our event. And this event is going to be very special because we are having top well-known brands and speakers and all those partners who has joining who are joining our event today, and they have made it very special because of their presence and everyone here. This is like a good opportunity who all are seeking roles or next opportunity in their career. In short, for the job seekers, like there are a lot of opportunity that are exhibitors are having. And this event is fully packed with all those features, like if they are seeking their career enhancement. So there are a lot of speakers who will be adding value to your career job search. And yeah, so this way this is the special event, I can say. And yeah, welcome everyone.
Yeah, indeed. I'm pretty sure it's going to be super, super exciting for all the attendees here with all the booths and exhibitors who are going to speak about the job roles and etc. And the speakers who will be joining us sometime later who will give some amazing insights, right? So I do have a few questions for you, Bindu, but before that, I have another poll for all my attendees here. So this is going to be, what's your top reason for joining today's event? So I'm publishing it right away so you can start voting. All right, let's move ahead. And Bindu, you can tell us what are the key elements that participants can expect to explore today?
Amazing, the elements. Yes. So as I just mentioned, like we are having special companies at our event, and basically this event is like I can say a recruitment event where companies are here to connect with the talent. So this Canada and US event is special and having the elements of this platform is basically divided in multiple layers, where the first layer is all about the speaking sessions. So multiple speaking sessions are lined up today, and having our exhibitors where companies are there who are participating to recruit the talent to meet you all guys. And definitely a networking session. How can we miss that, right? So that's
Absolutely.
quite interesting, and networking is a key. So this element is also being added to our this today's event. So everyone,
Awesome.
do not forget to visit all these 3 tabs you are seeing in front of you, not in this session maybe, but yes, on the platform. So where every tab will be giving you a different experience of the speaking sessions, and another one is for the networking, another, and the last one, I believe, the booth where exhibitors you can meet.
Awesome, awesome. I love to see that how votes are upcoming. And guys, thank you so much. Be engaged and keep voting. Until then, maybe Bindu, you can tell us some highlights of the expert speakers who will be joining and what they will be sharing with us.
Yes, sure. Why not? We are having speakers from, I can say, from various industries and expertise. Majorly, it's for your career enhancement and what government, especially, how can I miss that? So yes, definitely, Calgary government is contributing great to this event. Thank you so much for that. And in regards to that, Thomas will be here with us as a speaker, as well as they also have a booth. So do not miss. And yes, we do have Jan from Vienna Business Agency. And that's like gonna be a great experience for everyone to explore and learn about their contribution to the entire global, I can say, engagement for career enhancement and all those other features which you all will love to know. And that's what these events are very famous, that they get to know, right, about what is happening around, not only in the particular, I can say, arena. So explore more. And how can I miss like about the career, as I just mentioned, like we have some experts who are career coach, and will be adding their expertise, and as well as you guys, please do not miss asking questions to them if you are having some questions. So they will be adding about lot more about the enhancement activities. And yes, we have Joseph with us who will be adding about the higher tech talent. So what is high tech talent? This is our own platform where every exhibitor is connected and seeing you after the event also. So everyone who is listening me today here, do not miss Joseph's presentation about the higher tech talent. So even get hired after this event also. And definitely this platform is going to help you to you know, get more connected with many companies who are
Yeah.
seeking talent.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's not just about the companies that are present today, it's much more, broader than that. So guys, we will have a session on high tech talent later this afternoon. So yes, you can definitely be with us and follow up. Now, you already mentioned about the networking opportunities during the event, and I'd love to know what are the job opportunities that participants can look out for today.
Hey, Tripti, I don't want to share that now. Why don't they check it? Meet directly with the recruiter. So we have published their jobs on our multiple platforms like 𝗘𝘃𝗃𝗏𝗶𝗴𝗵𝗵 on social media,
Mhm.
etc. But today, let's do not bust the bubble. I can say.
Sure, sure.
Let attendees meet directly, and it will be very exciting for them to explore all these opportunities they have. Right.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, guys, this is a mystery and it's a surprise. So maybe you can just go to the booth and figure out what are the jobs that's open, what are the open roles. So yeah, you can figure it out yourself. It's like a treasure hunt.
Yeah, I can say that.
Awesome. So I believe candidates can also apply or register their interest today through this event. Yeah, can you just give a little highlight on that? And this is my last question. Yeah.
I know some more question I would love to welcome if any audience is having any question.
Yeah.
But yes, to answer your this question about, yes, this is important. Do not miss applying and do not miss interaction and how they can apply to the jobs. We have made it very easy for them. There is a
Mhm.
tab at the left right side of your screen. I'm interested tab. So this will directly help you to connect with the recruiter. So
Mhm.
do not miss adding your interest to that. And as well as there are on the booth, you will, the candidates will be finding a lot of career links, like which will be bringing them to the career page of our exhibitors come companies. But yes, I'm interested tab is quite interesting, and I can say this will help them to connect faster.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Bindu. I think that would be it from my end. Guys, if you have any questions, you can ask us. And will you be available at the speaker booth, Bindu, if they have any questions and they want to connect with you by any chance?
Yes, why not? Why not, Tripti? We
Awesome.
are
Awesome.
available at the Tech Jobs Fair booth, and our team is definitely will be happy to help if they'll have any questions. They like to connect and they like to
Mhm.
discuss anything. Definitely, why not?
Awesome. Awesome. So it was a pleasure having you, Bindu, today to kick off the event. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. And I think, Tripti, this after this session, there will be networking for them. So I'm sure you
Yes.
will be adding this in your.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So yes, guys, do enjoy this session. After this, as Tripti will be elaborating more, but I'll just give you a hint. Click here. There will be networking session after this. Enjoy that. Connect with people, and booth is all the time open. And meet with all the recruiters over there. Register your interest, and definitely simultaneously you will be having after the networking session, the speaking session. So do not miss anything. Enjoy this event and happy networking, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bindu.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. As she's already mentioned, but I just want to highlight a bit here. So for now, feel free to explore the booths where all the recruiters are and connect with like-minded people and make the most of this networking time. I will see you all again after, let's say, 45, 40 minutes, and don't go too far. Yeah. And I'll see you all soon. Until then, happy networking. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a good networking session and you guys are now ready for the speaking session marathon. So it's time to just sit back and get comfortable. Today's session are packed with expert insights from landing your job to overcoming job challenges and many more. So we are here to help you succeed in the competitive tech job market in Canada and US and beyond. So don't forget to engage, drop in your questions, not in the chat box, but in the Q&A option so that you get your questions answered. And this is your chance to get real answers straight from the experts. So let's invite our first speaker for today, Mr. Thomas. Thomas, he is a business development manager at Calgary Economic Development. He drives growth in Calgary's tech sector and brings a strong background in trade, life sciences, and aerospace. Hello, Thomas. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I don't want to take any of your time, so the stage is all yours.
Amazing. So let me just share my screen here, and then we can get started. Perfect. So good morning, everyone. Thanks for your time today. And I hope everyone's been enjoying the event so far and been able to connect with some of the amazing Calgary organizations that are exhibiting this afternoon. So we're lucky to be joined by the teams from 𝗘𝘃𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗁𝗀 Bank, Zayzoon, Village Wealth, and ATB Financial, all of which have been incredible partners to my team here at Calgary Economic Development and key in growing our tech ecosystem here in Calgary. So today I'm going to do a short presentation on why Calgary, why we're now considered the fastest growing tech talent market in North America, why we're seeing record numbers of VC investment into the city, and why you should consider Calgary as a place for your career, a new job, or your life going forward. So again, my name is Thomas Armbruster. I'm the Business Development Manager for the Enterprise Technology sector here at Calgary Economic Development. And at CED, we have a pretty simple mandate, and that is to position Calgary for long-term economic success. And we do that through the expansion, retention, and acquisition of companies, capital, and today, talent. So we are here to talk about Calgary and the opportunities that are present here. I've already met a few people from the city on the call, but I know many of you are from across Canada and the United States and maybe some across seas as well. So I'm going to put a little bit of information in front of you, but happy to connect after this presentation as well. So digging into Calgary, we currently have a population of about 1.68 million people and seeing tremendous growth in population over the past few years. And this actually has made us the fastest growing major Canadian city in all of Canada. And on the bottom row, you can see a lot of this growth can be attributed directly to tech jobs, where we've seen a 78% increase over the past 5 years in technology employment in the city. Again, we are one of the youngest cities in the country, very well educated, and a diverse population, both from interprovincial migrants, so other Canadians moving into Calgary, but also international immigration from outside the country as well. And a lot of people don't know this about Calgary, but we're actually the third most diverse city in all of Canada, which is pretty impressive when you consider the numbers in Toronto and Vancouver and Montreal. We have 165 different languages spoken here, and most of the immigration that we see here in the city are from countries like India, Afghanistan, and Nigeria, to name a few. So let's talk about, I'm going to skip this slide, but let's talk about the economy and the opportunities here in Calgary. And we're often known for our energy and environment sectors, as well as a large focus and concentration of head offices. But there's so many other industries and strengths that the region has. So this includes sectors like agribusiness, why we're here today, technology, aerospace, transportation and logistics, film, and life sciences, all of which offer diverse opportunities here inside Calgary. And many of these opportunities, and the graph didn't load here, that's okay. Many of these opportunities are driven by the amount of head offices that are in Calgary. So on a per capita basis, Calgary actually has the most head offices in all of Canada. I believe it's 6 head offices per 100,000 people, which is pretty impressive. And again, lots of job opportunities through there, large customer base for startups and technology companies to take advantage of as well. And this really gives us, job opportunities, economic strength, and economic stability for our region. But I wanted to circle back to the goal of this event, and that's jobs and opportunities in the technology sector. So I just previously referenced this stat, but we've seen 78% increase in technology jobs over the past 5 years. And this has resulted in about 60,000 new local jobs, making us the fastest growing tech hub in all of North America. So our team's really excited about this momentum that's been created over the past few years, and we're going to keep supporting it and making sure that it continues going forward. So our team do a number of different things, such as hosting local events to make sure that the talent here is retained and upskilled and reskilled if needed. But we also do national events, international events, hiring fairs like this, information sessions, and other things. So make sure to look out going forward for other career fairs that we host. We partner with different ecosystems and countries, radios, and of course, companies like the ones on exhibiting today. I'm going to skip through these slides, but these kind of give you a good sense across Canada, at least, that the price or salary that you're going to expect is going to be similar across the country. So I'll make sure to send these slides out to everyone after the call so you have access to them. But it really just shows whether you're landing East Coast, West Coast, anywhere in the middle, you'll expect a similar pay. So now looping back onto the tech and the innovation ecosystem here in the city, which I know is probably important for all of you considering a role here. So not only have we seen an increase in jobs and opportunities, but we've also seen an increase in the support services for these. So significant increase in tech training programs, almost a 300% increase just over the past 2 years. Expansion in global accelerators, growth of international companies. So about 4 years ago, we welcomed Infosys and Mphasis, two large Indian-based tech companies, set up offices here. Both of them have hired around 1,800 people each. We're still seeing that momentum continues today from international companies, but then we also have a pretty strong locally grown base of organizations as well. So some of which are on the call today, many of which couldn't make it, but a strong growth and scale up and startup opportunities if you're looking for that. And then all of this has kind of led, and I'll jump to the slide here, but all this has led to an increase in venture capital investment into the city, which is a good indicator of future growth and job opportunities as well. So with all the VC that's come into the province of Alberta, about 75% of it has come into the city of Calgary and companies inside Calgary itself. And over the past 5 years, we've broken the record for amount of VC on any given year here inside Calgary as well. So this continues to grow. Lots of companies are taking advantage of the growth here in the city. So it's a really exciting time to be a startup, to work for a startup, and work for a scale-up company as well. So if you're interested, this is a website that you can go to. It kind of shows all the recent investments that have been made into the city. So you can kind of play around, see what companies have received investment, which companies may be hiring now because of that investment, and then where that investment came from if you're interested. So it's a great resource. The link's there, and I'll make sure to share this with you afterwards as well. So culturally, Calgary's always positioned itself as being a business-friendly environment and employee-friendly environment. And one way we position ourselves to do that is through Calgary's tax advantage. So we often think that we're or position ourselves as the friendliest tax jurisdiction in the country. We have no sales tax, the lowest corporate income tax rate, no payroll tax, healthcare premiums, or land transfer tax. So for individuals that are considering relocating or working here in the city, this is a consideration that I would make. And with all this growth that we've seen in the city, population growth, we want to make sure that the individuals that are either considering or living here now know that the city is going to continue investing in itself. So for example, late next year, Calgary is opening one of only 3 museums that will be completely free to the public, 3 museums in the world that will be completely free to the public. We have the largest arts development project that's happening in all of Canada. We are investing about $4.6 billion into a new train infrastructure and light rail. And then there's continued investment in connectivity, such as fiber networks and other things like that as well. So all of this is to meet the explosion of population and the explosion of tech jobs that we've seen here in the city, and make sure that you're supported if you do decide to live here. And then lastly, and important to me, is the quality of life that you can expect here in the city. I think it's important for all of you to kind of understand the offering that the city has outside of a career. So in 2024, Calgary was ranked the #1 city in North America to live in. And we were I think we were 5th in the world. So we just fell behind Copenhagen and I believe Vienna, who is, funny enough, presenting right after us. So I'm looking forward to that presentation as well. But why we're the most livable city, it can be attributed to things like affordability, economic opportunity, cleanliness, safety. But a big one is the connection to nature. You are about an hour drive from the Rocky Mountains, and being in the middle of natural parks, there's world-class hiking trails, ski hills, and other opportunities. You couple that with Calgary being the sunniest city in all of Canada, it's a really unique way of life and integrated with nature here in the city. And then lastly, I wanted to talk about affordability. So I talked about taxes already, but I know a large consideration for a lot of people is housing, especially here in Canada. So on here is just an average price of homes, according to our calculations, for single family townhouse and apartments. On the right, you can see the aggregates. So you can see we're kind of nestled right in the middle there. You couple that with lower taxes, as well as the salary parity across all major cities. We think Calgary has a really nice mix of affordability, quality of life, and economic and job opportunity here in the city. So I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to be at the Calgary Economic Development booth for the rest of the day, but I encourage everyone to continue to connect with the companies that joined the call today. My LinkedIn will also be at our booth. This is my personal or work email here, so feel free to reach out if you have any questions. But I'll be back at the booth after the presentation. And maybe we can open it up for some questions now. Oh, I think you're muted.
Sorry.
No worries.
This happens with a virtual event.
Of course, yeah.
As mentioned earlier, you're supposed to drop in your questions in the Q&A section and not in the chat. So I see we have a few questions in here. So do you want to take a couple of them right now?
For sure. Let me find these.
I'm gonna show this on stage so it's easier for you to read it.
Okay,
and
perfect.
we have two people voted for the same question. So it's 3 people wanting to know the same question.
Yeah, so I think I understand the question here. So happy to connect with you after the call. Our team directly supports organizations that are looking to relocate talent. So we are one of only 3 organizations in Alberta that can be an immigration referral partner. So if you are someone from outside of Canada looking to move here, we can work with your company to make that process pretty smooth. For relocation packages, we don't have anything specifically, but I can provide a few resources. So for example, we have a website called Life in Calgary. It really outlines everything you would need to know if you are looking to relocate. So everything from school districts, neighborhoods to consider moving into, general restaurants, food, that type of thing, but then also job opportunities. We can connect you with, local real estate agents, those type of things through that Life in Calgary website. So I can put that in the chat after we're done taking some questions, but I hope that's helpful.
Awesome. So here's another one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'd have to look into this for you, and great question. I know right now what we're seeing a lot in Alberta is the movement of data centers into the region, just because of one, its location, two, access to energy, with Alberta and Calgary really being the energy capital of Canada. And also the temperatures in the winter make it pretty easy to cool data centers. So while there's not a lot of jobs itself at the data centers, a lot of companies are now setting up offices to take advantage of being close to these data centers. So that's where we're seeing the rise of different AI companies. And in the fintech space, cyberspace, a lot of quantum roles as well coming out of the University of Calgary. And startups that way. So I'm happy to connect, and maybe I can provide some more detailed information for you after the call, but hopefully that's helpful for now.
Awesome. Next.
Yes, so great question. So in the city right now, we are looking for all levels of talent. And I think companies would echo the same sentiment. So whether it's a junior level right outside from graduate, or if you just got your degree, all the way up to mid and senior level talent. It does depend specifically on the role. But one area that we are trying to promote a lot is the upskilling and reskilling that we're doing here in the city. So depending on what you are looking for, it looks like you're a data analyst. So I'm sure there's lots of open roles in that sector. But we've done upskilling opportunities, reskilling opportunities if you're moving in between industries as well. So again, happy to connect after the call if I can answer some more of your provide more detailed information for you.
Yeah, we do have a lot of questions, but I think we can take a couple of more. So
okay,
here's one.
Canadian is. Yeah, that's a great question. I'd have to look into that for you. As a Tri-City referral partner, most of that is done at the federal level. So I'm not exactly sure about the provincial nomination program, but I'm happy to look into that for you. If it looks like you're currently based in Nigeria, yeah, happy to provide information on that if you're able to connect with me afterwards. I just don't have that top of mind right now. Thank you.
Let's take maybe the last one, and then they can meet you at your booth.
Yes, and feel free to connect on LinkedIn and pass along your questions there as well, and hopefully I can answer them there.
Can we take this one last?
Yeah, so it would be me primarily, and then I can pass along your information to anyone that you'd like to connect with. I would recommend, we have another site called 𝗘𝘃𝗲𝗶𝗴𝗵𝗵𝗁 I was kind of promoting this at our booth, but it is the link is on our booth as well, so maybe just head over there. But that site really lists all of the open tech opportunities in all the different sectors, so energy, transportation, aerospace, and of course like technology, life sciences, those type of opportunities. It is a little bit dated, so we're currently updating it right now. So you might run into a few posts, they're not hiring anymore, or they've shut down the site. So just keep an eye out on that in the coming weeks as we update it going forward. And there should be some great information technology opportunities in there for you.
Awesome. It was great having you. And I think that was a great start to the speaking session. Thank you so much for sharing such insightful presentation, Thomas. And I'm pretty sure they are super, super excited to meet you at your booth. And once again, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And yeah, feel free to connect on my booth, email, or LinkedIn. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, guys, I will see you all again in another session. Up next, we have Mr. Jan, a startup and business formation expert at Vienna Business Agency and project lead of the Vienna Up Startup Festival. Hello, Jan. Thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
Hello, 𝗘𝘃𝗲𝗶𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗁. Thanks for having me. I'm doing good. And yourself?
Awesome, awesome. So I don't want to take any further time of yours, and the stage is all yours.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good lunchtime, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time zone when you are at. I'm sending you big greetings from Europe, Vienna. It's almost evening here, and I would like to introduce you to Vienna and Austria as a location for your business and for your career. Vienna is located in the very heart of Europe. Maybe you are already familiar with Austria or Vienna or not. Therefore, I have prepared a small poll for you where you can vote if you have ever been to Austria or not yet, or if you would like to. Feel free. I would be happy to see as many votes as possible so that we know how many people are here looking, and in the end I would like to show you also an opportunity where you can come physically to Vienna, but we will come to that later. Maybe before we start talking about business, a short introduction to Vienna as a place to live. Actually, as you can see, located in the heart of Europe, you have less than 1 hour to be in the Alps, do some skiing, and less than 5 hours by car to take a swim in the Adriatic Sea. And within 2 hours, you are by plane in all large European cities to have your business meetings. So Vienna is really located in the optimal location for your business or career in Europe. And also the airport is quite close. And what we also value a lot in Austria is sustainability, and therefore there is always convenient connection to the cities around Vienna by train. Currently, Vienna has become the second largest German-speaking city in the world, right after Berlin, and we have overtook Hamburg in the recent years. And our GDP is above the double of the European average. As already mentioned in the previous presentation by Thomas, we also are very good in the top quality of life rankings, usually 1, 2nd, or 3rd position. So this is also a thing to consider when you are thinking about setting up a new business or moving to a new city for your career. What's the accessibility of medical services, of schools, things like that. In these rankings, Vienna is among the top cities in the world for many years already. But before we go deeper in the Vienna startup ecosystem, a short introduction to my organization, to myself. I am Jan from the Vienna Business Agency, and the Vienna Business Agency is the location agency financed by the city of Vienna. And our role is to support people who would like to set up a business in Austria with free consultations, free coachings. We also have funding schemes for new businesses. And we also own real estate and develop real estate where you can have an office or a co-working space in Vienna. So basically, we offer this 360 degrees package for anyone who would like to set up a business in Vienna and offer the services financed by the city of Vienna for free. And as I am from the Startup Services Department of the Vienna Business Agency, my experience, my proficiency is from the startup perspective. So as many of you are looking for your next career options, I would also recommend to consider working for a startup. And why not for a startup that is based in Vienna? Viennese startups are looking also for remote workers. And if you, for example, would like to proceed with some idea with your job that makes some sense, then Viennese startups are a good chance that you will find a career with purpose. As about 50% of startups based in Vienna follow some social or ecological objectives, and 1/4 of them are really focused on the topic of sustainability. Also, it's quite common to be a female founder in Vienna. So it's still less than 50%, but we are slowly increasing, and currently about 1/3 of Viennese startups have at least one female co-founder. So if you are a woman in tech, Vienna is also the good place to start your career. Here you can see some of the large scale-ups and biggest startups that are based in Vienna. You can find more of them on our homepage, vienna.business. Look at their website, look at their career options, and get inspired and connect with them. We also have lots of accelerators and incubators. So if you would like to set up your own business in Vienna, your own startup with innovative idea, then you are very welcome to apply to join one of our accelerators, incubators, and hubs. Some of them are international ones, like Plug and Play, which is the worldwide accelerator. It also has one location in Vienna, but some of them are local ones. So depending on the scope of your business, you can get really well connected at one of the accelerators and incubators or co-workings that are here in the city. And one of the projects that we do at Vienna Business Agency recently, now for the 4th time, is the Vienna Up Startup Festival. It's a festival that's going to happen in about 1 month already. So if you are in Europe or are free to book your tickets to fly to Europe anytime soon, then it's May 8 to 16, 2025. It's the ideal time to explore the city of Vienna from the business perspective, because it's during these days the whole Viennese startup ecosystem is organizing events around the city of Vienna. So we have about 65 confirmed events this year. All of them are in English, and all of them are organized by the organizations that are really professional in this topic. One of them is also the Tech Jobs Fair, so there will be also a physical Tech Jobs Fair where you can then connect with corporates and companies looking for employees in Vienna. But we also have lots of other events, from health, life science to deep tech and AI, everything which is currently interesting to startups and business founders, from matchmaking to hackathons. You can explore the Viennese startup ecosystem during the Vienna Up Festival the best. And if you don't manage this year, maybe next year. Next year we already set the date for May 18 to May 22. So again, mid-May, the ideal opportunity to visit Vienna. And as we know, it's not only about working, it's also about enjoying. Therefore, every festival attendee can get free cafe at the Viennese cafes, which are the UNESCO World Heritage Site, and our matchmaking central, which is the home base where you can meet other festival participants and to network with them. I will be available at the speakers booth about 10 to 15 minutes after the presentation. Let's talk there if you are interested to find out more about Vienna. Let's follow us through our Vienna Up newsletter, and come back to me anytime via email if you have any questions about making business in Vienna. And thanks so much for your votes in the poll. I see that 2 people were already in Vienna and 9 would like to. So yeah, that's the majority of people would like to visit Vienna. You are all welcome, and if you go ever to Vienna, feel free to let us know at the Vienna Business Agency so that we can give you tips about the events and the current things to do in Vienna.
Awesome. So here I join you, Jan, again, because I see a lot of questions actually lined up here for you. So maybe we can get started with the questions, and you'd be happy to answer them. I'll just highlight all the questions on stage. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Tripti. So, yeah, work authorization visa in Vienna. The process used to be quite difficult, but in the recent 2 years, it has been made slightly easier. So you need to apply for the so-called red or white red card. As soon as you have a contract in Vienna, you can apply for this. And unless there is some personal history which is not favorable, usually it's possible to obtain it without any issues if you have a working contract here in Vienna. And it's in the area which like IT professionals, definitely it's not a big issue.
Awesome. The next question.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested to know if the startup has to be based in Vienna itself. Yeah, so if you would like to apply for our funding, so we offer, the Vienna Business Agency, we offer funding of up to 50%, for example, for developing your innovative business idea. Then the business has to be registered in Vienna, so it has a Viennese address. But it doesn't mean that you have to be personally, physically as a person in Vienna, but for us, it's important that the business is registered with Viennese address. That's what we take a look at with the funding.
That's interesting.
In general.
That's interesting to know. Here's another one.
What makes someone a good fit beyond just qualifications? What kind of things can be taught? Oh, that's a very interesting question. I like that one because it's not connected to the city of Vienna itself, but it's a general question. But maybe what definitely valued a lot in German-speaking countries in general, be it Austria, Germany, or Switzerland, is reliability and punctuality. So it's I think it's important to promise the only things that you can really deliver, not to promise too much, and the things that you promised and that you present yourself so to be as realistically as possible, and then to fulfill these expectations and be punctual and exact. That's kind of the traditional German-speaking countries' expectations on new employees.
Nice. Thanks for sharing that. I have another question in here.
How easy to adapt to relocation to Vienna? I have relocated to Vienna actually like 10 years ago. So in my personal experience, it's quite easy. Also, I spoke some German already when I came to Vienna for the first time. We are well aware that it might be a little more difficult for the people that don't speak German. Therefore, we have opened an expat center of the Vienna Business Agency where you can come and you can also discuss your personal questions besides the business. So how to find an English-speaking doctor, or how to find a kindergarten for my children, how to find some free time activities, for example. So like we at the Vienna Business Agency also organize, for example, trips to vineyards for the expats. So it's there's a large expat community here in Vienna. Also, due to the UN headquarters, there are many expats from around the world living in Vienna, and there are lots of activities for them, and it's easy to make new acquaintances. And from that point of view, it's we're trying to make it easier. But what I would definitely recommend in order, if you would like to stay in Vienna for a longer term, to start learning the local language. But I think that applies to any country in the world where you would like to live in.
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever it comes to international talents, like, the language becomes one of the biggest questions.
Yes, absolutely. But I think like just for like a few years, maybe it doesn't matter. You can get by without German in Vienna quite well. But I mean, if you are considering having a family and you need to be more in touch with the local institutions, then it's favorable to speak the local language, but it's not a must.
Awesome. So here's another one, which is actually, again, the language associated.
For the startups, we have many founders in Vienna that don't speak German, and we see that more than 30% or about almost 40% of the startup founders, they were born outside of Austria, and many of them don't speak German at all and became very successful here in Vienna. So all the investors speak English, all the large corporates speak English, all our events that we do for startups are in English. So considering this specific startup environment, it's it's quite easy to get connected with the locals in English.
Awesome. I think this next question you probably have answered, but I just want to highlight it so that maybe you can just give a hint of the answer.
Depends what you consider daily routine. Yeah, you mean still there are some offices like public offices like the social insurance company where it's, for example, it is hard to get by only with English, but for the 99.9% of your daily activities, you will completely fine in English. And we as a Vienna business agency also offer services for expats and people from abroad that don't speak the local language, so that we can be helpful. Also, if you have some issues with doing your business or creating the business and facing some challenges with the language barrier, we can be helpful as a Vienna business agency.
Awesome. So I think we have a couple of more questions. Let's quickly take that, and then maybe, everybody can meet you at your table in the speaking booth. So we just have a couple of questions which we can quickly take.
Thank you very much. Yes. No, we, the Vienna Business Agency, we don't offer job openings, or we don't have a job portal. You would have to check out the career sites of the UN organization. So please check the career site of the company or the organization you would like to apply at.
Just one another, which is very attendee, job seeker oriented.
How can someone show the potential if they don't have a lot on their resume? Well, I come from the startup environment, so if you can do, if you can do some software, if you can program something and you can show it to the people, then you have won, I think. So I think if you are a programmer, IT, tech guy, then I think that's one of the best ways how to show off your skills is to create something and share this with the others.
Absolutely. And guys, just let me tell you, we have a lot of speaking sessions upcoming from expert career coaches. So I think for job seekers, that'll be much more relevant speaking sessions to ask about questions like this. But again, once again, thank you so much, Jan. It was such a pleasure having you join us today all the way from Vienna. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your evening. And I'm pretty sure you're going to stay at your table in the booth. So guys, you can meet him. He'll be there for a few minutes maybe. So you can join him and maybe get other questions answered of yours. Once again, thank you so much, Jan, for joining us.
Thank you, 𝗞𝗲𝗄. Thank you. Have a nice day, everyone.
Bye-bye. Awesome. So we do, like I mentioned, we have many speaking sessions lined up, and they are from expert career coaches. So be there, and if you're a job seeker, don't forget to ask them the questions. I'll see you there. Well, let's keep the momentum going as we welcome our next speaker, Miss Amanda Armstrong, who's a global career coach and social entrepreneur who empowers professionals to build careers with confidence, purpose, and financial freedom.
Oh, never mind.
How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
It's our pleasure, and thank you so much for joining us. I just want to add a fun fact, I think, about you, that you're a passionate footballer and a snowboarder who submitted also Mount Kenya and Mount Kilimanjaro. That is really amazing. Super, super impressed.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. I don't want to waste any more time of yours. The stage is all yours, and I'm looking forward to hearing your insights.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. Hi, how are you? Hi, Jackson. Hi, everyone. Feel free to say hi in the chat. Let me know where you are located. I am in Nairobi, Kenya, in East Africa. So hello to everyone. I'm very excited to be here. Let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. Okay. My dog, we have 3 dogs, so they might be joining us here and there. Okay, so hello from Vancouver and Belgium and Toronto. I was born and raised in Toronto, so hello. So today I am going to talk to you about how to land your dream job, because I am a high achiever and I believe that we all deserve to be in our dream job. You know, you only live once. So I think let's go out there and get the best job opportunities for ourselves. My name is Amanda Armstrong. I'm a social impact entrepreneur, a job search career coach, motivational speaker, and a consultant. I like to call myself your personal cheerleader, your professional mentor, and your career coach. And my job is to help you get the best opportunities for yourself. I run a global social enterprise. The social enterprise is a social impact business called Her Dream Career. We're currently rebranding, and I work with thousands of women all over the world to help them get the best job offers. And I believe that we deserve a job that we're passionate about, where we get to make a positive impact in the world. And we also have financial freedom, the ability to go on vacations or, you know, access healthcare, or just to be able to enjoy our lives. A little bit about me in a nutshell. Born and raised in Toronto. I've lived and worked globally across North America a little bit, the Caribbean. I worked in Guyana for almost a year, so shout out to anyone from Guyana. And I have also lived and worked in East Africa, a little bit in West Africa as well, and I'm permanently based in Nairobi, Kenya. I've been working for more than 22 years since I was in high school. I've been in more jobs than anyone that I know, and I have been in a lot of dream jobs. That almost every job I've had has been a job that I've been really, really, really passionate about. I've been working in social impact, leadership, people-facing roles my whole life. I've also been in the international development sector, working in social entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship for good, women's empowerment. And my last job before I became a full-time entrepreneur, I worked in tech sales for 3.5 years in downtown Toronto. And since I've been through the job search so many times and I figured out how to land my dream job opportunities more than 15 times, I became a career coach to help others achieve the same. My recent experience in tech, 3.5 years at an ed tech startup in early childhood education. You know, if you've ever worked in sales, it's really hard. I was not that good in the beginning, but eventually I did work my way up to become the top sales rep, bringing in $500,000 in ARR, impacting millions of people around the world, children and parents and teachers and family members. So that's a little bit about my recent experience in tech. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit in a nutshell about my keys to success and how you can land the best job opportunities out there for yourself. So this is what the job search is really like. So if you're going through like the ups and the downs and the rejections and the constant failure and ghosting and never hearing back and not getting feedback and all that, that's totally normal. I like to compare the job search to working in sales or to dating and trying to find a life partner. It's really hard. There's a lot of rejection, a lot of failure, but just as long as you know this is what to expect, you can sort of learn to ride the wave, and you will get better and better at dealing with rejection and failure and picking yourself back up again. But just remember that that dream job is out there waiting for you. Do not give up. I work with amazing women who have, you know, incredible backgrounds, education, skills, and experience. And some of them, it can take 12 months before they get that new job opportunity. So please do not give up. I had a client from India. She was in Canada for 2 years. Incredible background, just unbelievably amazing woman. And for 2 years, she could not land a full-time opportunity in Canada. And we worked together. And then after 6 months, she got her very first full-time job. So do not give up, keep going, focus on that end goal, and just keep learning the keys to success and learning how to improve along the way. So I want to start with the 2 things you must know for a wildly successful job search. Go ahead and put your guess in the chat. What do you think are the 2 things you have to know for a wildly successful job search? Go ahead and put those in the chat if you have a guess. And I love people who guess, because I can see your name and then you're making an impact and you're standing out. Yeah, networking. Nice. I love that. Networking, confidence, 100%. Okay, all of these are really good answers. Knowing what you want. Gabriella read my slides. Okay. Yeah, networking is one of the greatest keys to success. We can all see that. We can all see that in the chat. Perseverance, persistence. Okay. So there's two things you must know first, then we'll get into the other keys to success. But the two things you have to know, one thing you have to know is, what is your unique value? What makes you different from everyone else? Why should someone pick you out of the hundreds of applicants? Okay, I worked with a woman in Costa Rica. She made it into the top 10 out of 780 applicants. That's how competitive some jobs are these days. So if there's 800 applicants, why should they choose you? What do you have to bring to the table? Your unique value, your skills, your strengths, your superpowers, your education. Maybe you were the captain of the basketball team. Maybe you were, maybe your professor like gave you some type of award or recognition. Maybe you did really, really, really well in some type of specific course or boot camp you participated in. But figure out what makes you different from everyone else. Figure out what is your unique track record of success. What makes you such an amazing employee? Maybe you're just really good at showing up on time. Maybe you're someone who goes above and beyond. Maybe you're a really kind, honest, loyal person. Maybe you're really funny. Okay, I worked in sales. The guys I worked with who were also top sales reps with me were really funny. If you're a funny person, you might want to explore getting into tech sales. Okay, so figure out what is your superpower, what makes you different from everyone else. What would your friends, your family, your colleagues, your old boss, and your classmates say you're really, really good at? If you're a software engineer, I need to know what makes you different from every other software engineer in the world. What are you good at? Why should I pick you over the hundreds and thousands of other software engineers? Okay. And this isn't just about having an MBA or having a master's degree. I don't have a master's degree. Okay. There's other things. Like I was the co-captain of my soccer team in high school. Okay. I had a lot of volunteer experience. I specialized in leadership and public speaking in university. So those are things I could highlight that made me different from other business school students. I also specialized in entrepreneurship at business school. Very few people specialized in entrepreneurship. When I got into the social impact world and I was applying to jobs where they wanted me to manage a women's entrepreneurship program, I was like the only applicant with an entrepreneurship background. No one else applying to these nonprofits had entrepreneurship backgrounds. So figure out what it is. Languages are extremely valuable. If you lived in different countries, that cross-cultural experience is very valuable. If you've overcome some type of significant challenge, that's extremely valuable. You can tell really vulnerable, powerful stories in your cover letters. Okay. So just figure that out and highlight that. No one can be you. That's your greatest superpower. Okay. ChatGPT, not really going to work that well, because if everyone else is using it to write their cover letters, then your cover letter is going to look like everyone else. So be creative, be funny, be nice, be kind, whatever that superpower is, be creative with your cover letters, be authentic, be unique, be different from everyone else. Okay. That's what's going to get you to the right jobs. Someone talked about, dry humor. Well, you're going to want to go target CEOs that love dry humor. You're going to want to go target like the leadership teams, the CEOs and the hiring managers who like dry humor. Okay. In tech, there's a lot of people like humor. So keep that in mind and just target people who share your values. The second thing you have to know is the end goal you're working towards. Don't be too open. Have standards. It's like looking for a life partner. Don't be like, oh, I'll date anyone. I'll take anyone. That's not a good strategy. You're not going to end up with the dream partner if you're open to anyone. The thing about being strategic about what you want is then you can tailor and customize your resume, your cover letter, and your LinkedIn profile to be perfectly aligned to the end goal. And that is key. For example, let's say you're passionate about using AI and tech for good. You want to use AI and tech to make an impact in the world. If you apply to a job related to that, and I come to your LinkedIn profile and I don't see anything about tech for good, AI for good, you're not going to make the cut. because there's going to be all these other applicants that have on their resume and cover letter and LinkedIn their passion for AI for good, their passion for tech for good. So it's really important that you identify, what are you passionate about? What are your deal breakers? Do you want a fully remote job? Okay, make that a deal breaker. It's like, don't go on a first date with, like if you want children and they don't want children, don't go on a first date. If you want a fully remote job and they're not offering a fully remote job, don't go on a first date. Having said that strategy, jobs that are not fully remote are less competitive than jobs that are fully remote. Okay, so if you want a little bit of a less competition, go after jobs that are hybrid, go after jobs that are in person, at least to start. Okay, but identify your priorities. Maybe one of your priorities is working with a diverse team. You want a diverse team, you want a woman CEO or women in leadership. Then you can take all of the hundreds and thousands and millions of jobs across Canada and the US, you can narrow that down to the top organizations that align with your values and align with your interests. So given that there's so many jobs out there in the world, have deal breakers, have boundaries, filter, get to the best opportunities, and then align your resume, cover letter, and LinkedIn to those opportunities. If you're passionate about women in tech, apply to jobs related to women in tech and mention women in tech all over your application. You have to be a perfect fit, not perfect, but like you have to be a strong fit. You have to be aligned. You have to mention key words. Okay. Know what you want, know what that end goal is, and it'll make your job search way, way, way more successful. Okay. So let's talk about my strategy in a nutshell. Here's my strategy. I'm all about quality. I don't believe in applying to 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 jobs and you don't have an offer. That's not successful. I believe in applying to 10 jobs maximum. Okay. 10 jobs. After you've applied to 10 jobs with the highest quality application, the highest quality resume, highest quality cover letter, highest quality LinkedIn profile, you should have 3 interviews at a minimum and 1 offer. Okay. If you are not getting these results, your resume and cover letter and LinkedIn need improvement. They are not doing their job. So you'll need to find someone, a career coach or an expert who can help you with that. Okay. These are the goals I want you to aim for. These are my results. Between 30% to 100%. Okay, you guys deserve the same. You all deserve the same. Not 10 applications per week, 10 applications total. I recommend 3. My goals that I recommend is apply to 3 jobs a week, and you should be having 5 coffee chats a week. You should be meeting 5 CEOs, 5 founders, 5 HR professionals, 5 people, 5 new people every week. Networking is key. So you apply to 3 jobs a week, you have 5 coffee chats a week. Okay. Networking is going to be your greatest key to success. Okay. For once you apply to 10 jobs, let's say that's like 1 month, you should have 3 interviews and 1 offer. Okay. Last year, I only applied to 3 consultancies. I had 2 interviews and 1 offer. Okay. These are the kind of results that I recommend you aim for. What do you need to get these results? Well, you need an incredible application. Your application needs to be in the top 1%, the top 5 out of 100. When someone opens your application, they need to be like, wow, this person is amazing. They need to be like, wow, they're incredible. Look at all those amazing accomplishments. You need to have this like strong, powerful application, strong words, strong language, highlights, numbers. Put as many numbers as you can possibly put in there. If you have spent like, let's say hundreds of hours practicing code or hundreds of hours doing graphic design, then put hundreds of hours doing graphic design. Okay, so numbers. That's one of the greatest keys to success. Just dump as many numbers as you can. And don't make up fake numbers. Don't say I increased revenue by 20%. Don't make up numbers because it's obvious, but you can use the words like dozens, hundreds, thousands. You can use the words 50 plus, 20 plus. For example, if you're into social media and you write blog posts or you've managed social media accounts, well, you've probably done dozens of blog posts or dozens of social media posts. Okay, so those are numbers. Fill your resume with numbers, Fill your cover letter with numbers. Tell me you have 10 plus years of experience. Tell me you have 15 years of experience. Tell me you've lived in 5 different countries. Tell me you speak 3 different languages. Just put as many numbers as you can as possible, because trust me, it sounds good. Okay. Now, the other key to success is networking. Everyone already talked about this, right? Networking is one of your greatest keys to success. Every time I apply to a job, every time I find a dream job, I go find the CEO, the founder, the head of HR, or whoever my future boss is going to be. And I reach out to them with a really nice, thoughtful message. Not like, hey, I need a job, but like, hey, I absolutely love the work that you're doing at ABC organization. I found this job which is perfectly aligned with my background and skill set. I'm currently preparing my application, and I would love to connect for a brief virtual coffee chat. Okay, so strong, passionate, positive, powerful. Okay, networking is going to be your key to success. Put your guess in the chat. Of my 15 job offers on my LinkedIn, my 15 dream jobs, how many jobs do you think I got just from like applying and crossing my fingers? And how many jobs do you think I got through some networking in some way? Just put your guess. Cold applications, how many out of 15? How many from just applying and like crossing my fingers? Okay, wow. A lot of people, 0, 0, 0. Okay, you're all wrong. Okay, you're all wrong, but you were close. It was 2 out of 15. Okay, there we go. Pierre has a good guess there. Okay, another one with a good guess. Yeah, 2 out of 15. Okay, so networking is one of the greatest keys to success. If you are not good at it, if you're scared of it, start practicing, start stepping out of your comfort zone. Honestly, the easiest way to do it is like you can show up to in-person events, online events like this. But reach out to people on LinkedIn that you genuinely want to meet up with. Reach out to people that you actually would want to be friends with. Reach out to people that you, like are in the job that you would like to have in the future. Reach out to people who have achieved the goal that you are working towards. If your dream is to work at Google or your dream is to work at Uber, then reach out to people who are in the department at that organization that you want to work at. When I network, I always follow up. 100% of the time I'm following up. I'm emailing, I'm messaging on LinkedIn, and you can't just send one message. If you've worked in sales, you know this, you have to follow up. Okay, so I send my first message. If I don't get a response, 2 to 3 business days later, I'm sending a nice friendly message just to check in, because people are busy, CEOs are busy. They probably missed your message by accident. Check in. Hi, hope all's well. I'm sure you're super busy. I'd love to connect to chat about the work you're doing. Okay. I've also volunteered with organizations. And then when a full-time job came up, I was hired because they knew my work ethic and they knew I was loyal. I've also met with friends for coffee, and then they found my dream job and they sent it to me. Okay. And then I've also, my brother connected me to CEO. I met with the CEO for coffee. And then I got just like a 1-month little gig. Okay. So network, follow up on every single job you're applying to. Thoughtful, professional messages telling them how passionate you are about their company, their startup, their work, their organization, women in tech, AI for good, ed tech, fintech, whatever it is. And then let them know that you'd love to connect for a brief coffee chat. Okay. Not everyone's going to reply, but some people will. You've just got to have a really well-written message, a really well-written email. Okay, who you know matters. This will open doors, give you access to opportunities. One last thing about networking. A lot of tech companies have referral bonuses for their employees. So what that means is, like when I worked at my tech startup, I think I got like $2,000 or something if I referred someone and they were hired. So what that means is if you go on LinkedIn and you reach out to some employee at that company you want to work at, and sorry, someone's pinging me. Okay, I'm at time. I've got to wrap up, guys. So I got to wrap up. These are some great stories of amazing women who have secured their offers. I'm just going to end by putting my contact information up on the screen. I'm going to post it in the chat. And at this time, I am only working with women building careers with impact, just because I unfortunately can't work with everyone. And this is my focus at this time. but I have put my info in the chat, and you can follow me on LinkedIn. I share tons of jobs and tips on LinkedIn every week. So follow me on LinkedIn or connect with me if you would like any extra help. Thank you so much, everyone.
I am so sorry to interrupt, but that was really interesting. I was also so caught up in the presentation. I was like, let's look at the time. Oh, it's 20 minutes. But it's really, really interesting. And I see like we're flooded with questions in the Q&A section. I'm pretty sure we can take a few questions and then they can definitely meet you in your table, right, at the booth. So guys, you can meet her at third table in the speaker booth. So you can go connect with her. Let's not waste time and let's take a couple of questions here. I can't even choose which one to take. Do you want to just go through and I mean like answer the ones you want to in the Q&A section?
Yeah, oh, where's the Q&A section? There it is. Okay, how should someone follow up after applying without sounding pushy? Okay, open with like a genuine compliment or something you have in common. So for example, if you went to the same school as them, or if they mention that they love dogs and animals, you can mention that. Or usually I open with compliments. So when I reach out to someone like a CEO, I'll say something like, I love your business, or I love what you're doing with A, B, and C. So open with a compliment. Sometimes I'll just say like, happy Monday, or open with something you have in common. So you could say, I am a fellow tech professional. I am a fellow women in tech professional. So something like that. Or I'm a fellow creative, okay? If you're both creative, so find something in common or open with a compliment. And then don't say like, I'm looking for a job. Don't say that. You can say I'm currently exploring new opportunities for my career, something like that, something positive, something very like impressive, and invite them for a coffee chat. Keep things casual. Don't make it seem like you're desperate for a job. Someone asked, is there any must-do for CVs or portfolio? That's a long question to ask. Let's see. Would it be a good idea to disclose a disability like autism? Okay, so this depends. This is, I wouldn't disclose anything too early on well, it depends on the organization. If the organization has clearly said that they support people with disabilities, or if the organization works with people with disabilities, then yes, it would be a great idea to share that. But if it's a more traditional company or organization, there could be bias or discrimination, then you'll want to be a little bit more strategic or careful about that. So focus, if you have a disability, focus on working with organizations that support people with disabilities. Should I take one or two more, Tripti?
Maybe you can take them at the booth. Yeah, at the table.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome, guys. I see you guys are so keen on asking so many questions and you want your questions to be answered. But let's switch this Q&A to her table at the speaker booth, and she should be there, happy to answer you all.
Thank you, Tripti. Bye.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Bye-bye. It was a lovely session. Awesome, guys. So I'll see you all in the next session. Hey everyone, I hope you guys are loving the session so far. Now let's welcome our next speaker, Miss Lauren Ritchie, a certified high performance and career coach who helps professionals pivot, land dream roles, and accelerate their careers. How are you doing today?
I can hear you.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yeah. Hi, good afternoon, good morning, everyone.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you feeling today?
Great, really excited. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So I don't want to take any further time of yours. The stage is all yours.
So job searching is exhausting, I know. You feel like you're shouting into this massive void, ghosted, ignored, invisible, stuck. You're checking your inbox like crazy, hoping that somebody, anyone, has responded. You're scrolling LinkedIn and you're wondering, why is everyone else crushing it and you're not? And slowly, without even realizing it, you start questioning everything. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I should just stay where I am. But here's the truth, that you're not stuck. You're just in a loop. And loops are meant to be broken. Job search challenges are really just a bunch of loops that are tangled all together. And in today's session, I'm going to untangle some of those loops so you can move forward with confidence and competence. And I want to start with one truth that changes everything. Because if there's one thing that I've seen as a coach time and time again, it's this. No matter what challenge you're currently facing, the fastest way to break through is with one bold move. Bold moves change everything. Bold moves create momentum. They shift your energy. They open doors. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Well, Lauren, I don't really feel ready. I've lost my confidence. I've been going at this for some time. And I think when I'm confident, then I'll be able to show up with a good, bold move. If this sounds like you, I get it. But here's the truth. Confidence doesn't come first. It's courage that starts and gets you with your first step into the door, and it's confidence that follows. So let me ask you all of this. On a scale of 0 to 10, how boldly do you think you're showing up in your job search? And I have a poll, so you should all be receiving that now. 0 being not at all, and 10 being all in. Okay, thank you for those that are voting. Okay, so it looks like we have at the moment 44%, 43% are saying they're stepping up, which is amazing. And then 25% finding footing, 12% a little courageous, and 4% not at all. Okay, so that's pretty good for half of you. But for the other half of you, or even for those that are still where they are, there's always a next level of courage and boldness that you can take, and bigger, bolder action towards moving through your challenges and landing your next job. So I'm going to go through 5 common roadblocks that you might be facing and how you can start to tackle them. So roadblock number 1 is no calls back. So that's after sending out tons of applications, you don't receive responses from employers. And now that is not a reason to quit. It's a reason to question, to get curious. What's going on? What do I need to adjust, to follow up on, to tailor, or to maybe get feedback on? Roadblock number 2. You have no jobs to apply to. You feel like there's nothing suitable that's out there. If this sounds like you need to expand your thinking and change the words that you're searching. One type of role may go by 5 different titles. And then there's roadblock number 3. No connections. If you feel like your network isn't strong enough, for whatever reason, you need to reconnect with the one you have, your existing network. Think friends, former colleagues, or people you haven't talked to in a while. When you reach out or check in, please ask them, is there anyone else that they think you should be talking to right now? People know people, and this is often forgotten, yet it is so, so important while you're networking. And it's also okay and healthy for you to build new networks at the same time. And that really requires you just to show up at events like this or conferences where you can meet like-minded people. And then roadblock number 4 is about feeling tired and burnt out, because job searching can be exhausted. So let's check in one more time. On a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being completely burnt out and 10 being you're on fire, fully energized, ready to go, how would you rate your energy levels? Okay, couple burnt out people in the audience. Yeah. So what's interesting here, based on the poll results, and I hope you can all see them as well, is that majority of people are showing up in the 4 to 6 or below. In fact, almost over 70% of you are either managing, running on fumes, or burnt out. So if you're one of those people, please know that you're not alone, but please listen in to what I have to say next. If you're feeling tired and burnt out from the job search, make sure that you're setting healthy boundaries for yourself and with others, that you're scheduling well-deserved breaks, and that you're asking for the necessary support from family, friends, or even a coach, because managing your energy is key through this process and filters through in almost every area of job searching. So roadblock number 5, negative self-talk. Negative self-talk can undermine your confidence. It's really your brain's way of trying to protect you and by keeping you small and safe. You need to replace those negative thoughts with positive affirmations and celebrate your wins, both big and small. So for example, when you get that rejection email, what do you tell yourself? I suck, I'll never get the job? Or do you remind yourself that rejection is redirection? Let me say that again. Rejection is redirection. So instead, a positive spin would be to tell yourself, you know what? This role wasn't meant to be. This role was obviously not meant for me. So what's next? And now I want to share 3 power moves with you so that you can start shifting your job search right now. Power move number 1, multiply your momentum, the 5X rule. You find one job you like, I want you to find 5 more like it. You have one contact that you reach out to, I want you to reach out to another 5. You have one lead from someone, I want you to follow up 5 different ways. You need to be multiplying the momentum of every and anything that you do have going on. Power move number 2, tell your story. I want everyone to remember that you're not just a stack of skills, that you're a human with a journey and a story. And you need to share it. You need to share your why. Why now? Why you? Why AI? Why tech? What lights you up? Because here's the thing, people remember stories and passion. And power move number 3, play the energy game. And this is especially important based on the results in the polls that you all submitted on your energy levels. Job hunting isn't just about strategy. It's a lot about energy. When you show up with dynamic energy, people feel it, people remember it. And the reverse is true too. So this means you've really got to be managing your energy through sleep, exercise, meditation, scheduled breaks, or whatever feels aligned for you. When you boost your energy before calls, before interviews, trust me, it makes a huge difference in how you show up. So in conclusion, I want you to know that you've got what it takes. You might have fallen off the track just a little, hit a few challenges, but remember that you're just one bold move away from a breakthrough. So don't wait for any more signs. This is your moment. DM the hiring manager, reach out to an old colleague, ask for an introduction, ask for a referral, apply for the stretch role, show up to the event, even if it feels awkward, and share your story. The breakthrough truly starts with you. And every challenge that you're experiencing is an opportunity for you to course correct, to gain clarity, and to move in a direction that's more aligned with who you are and what you're meant to do next. So I really want you all to believe in yourself, to keep going, and to trust in the process. Thank you. So I know we're at, I think we still have 5 minutes to go, which would give us 5 minutes for some Q&A. For anybody that wants to connect with me on LinkedIn, feel free to scan my QR code and make that connection. And I will be hopping into the questions to see if I could support anybody during this time. Okay. What's one thing you wish more young professionals knew about working in a team? Wow. Okay, that's a great question. What's one thing that I wish more young professionals knew? I wish that they knew that it was okay to be, as Simon Sinek says, to be the idiot in the room. In other words, to be the person that asks the questions, that doesn't know all the answers, that's willing to raise their hand and says, can you explain that to me? Can you repeat that to me? I wish young people had the courage to ask more and to be more vulnerable and say, I don't know, can you please help and show me the way? Okay. Arun says AI versus human. I'm wondering what you mean by that. Arun, do you want to clarify what you mean by that? Okay, I'm going to move on. Arun, you can meet me in the lounge if you want. How do you think the pandemic dynamic with remote work affect people's expectations on the job market? Pandemic. I think it's changed a lot. I think, Carlos, that people are, during the pandemic, people, had to learn to be remote and work remotely. And I think that because of that, people still have that expectation. And I think it's really impacting the job market today, especially in the Canadian job market. I'm seeing there's a big call for people to go back into the office, and there's a huge amount of resistance. So there's definitely a little bit of a power shift happening right now. People enjoy working from home. People have proven to be productive working from home, but yet employees are now starting to ask for something different. And Suganda, if one is not very open to networking, then what are their opportunities for exploring opportunities? Well, I think that you need to be open to networking. I think there's always some form of networking. It's just about finding the form of networking that meets you where you're at. So in other words, if you're someone who doesn't want to go to a cocktail party in a big room, then can you reach out to a former colleague and have a coffee chat? Like, what form of networking can you do that makes you feel comfortable? Could you send an email to somebody? Okay. Can you do something like that? That just gives you the opportunity to still be talking to people without having to be in a big room, feeling uncomfortable and awkward. Okay. How to overcome the fear of answering the interview question, how to structure the answer in the interview? Okay, that's a great question. I also just want to let you all know I dropped my slides into the chat. So if anybody wants to download them, they are linked into the chat feature. Okay, Arun, the fear of answering an interview question. Here's what I want to say is that you never have to fear answering an interview question, because it should always just be about being your true authentic self and about really trying to just talk from what you've done and not trying to be someone that you're not. And I think if everybody could just lean into that by, you know, sharing their stories and not trying to pretend to be somebody with other stories or other experiences, it would really just decrease the anxiety and the stress associated with all of that. That said, how to structure the answer in an interview. I always like to make sure that candidates clarify what's being asked. So, for example, tell me about a time, this, that, the other. And then I would respond as a candidate and say, so if I'm hearing you correctly, you're asking me for a time when, in case, just to make sure that you're going on the right track. And then I would always be very brief in my answer, a very much of an outline, and then pause and say, would you like further details? I think a lot of people make that mistake by going into all these details and 10 years ago and 5 minutes ago and all that kind of stuff, but actually just keeping it really brief and you know, to the point like that. I think we're at time and we're going to have to wrap up now. So I see Manisha, Danish, Gunja, if you want to join me in the lounge, I'm heading over there now, and I'd be very happy for everybody to come and keep asking away, and I have more time to spend.
Awesome. That was a lovely, lovely presentation. Thank you so much, Lauren. And, you know, it's really, really important for us to understand how we can overcome job search challenges, because this is the time when people feel that, you know, they can't do it and they start doubting themselves. The imposter syndrome kicks in, and then, you know, they just want to sit back because they think, okay, I can't do it, right? So thank you so much for sharing all those roadblocks and all those, you know, tricks that you shared about the momentum and everything, the 5X rule. So I really, really enjoyed that. Thank you so much.
Great.
Guys,
thank you. Thank you for having me. And everybody feel free to head over to the lounge and I will ask more questions there.
yes. So there's a speaker booth and you have your table there. So you can be there. And guys, you can meet Lauren at her table in the speaker booth. So I'll see you all in the next session. Thank you once again, Lauren, for your time and your insights.
Thank you, 𝗘𝗃𝗲𝗏. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Awesome, guys. I'll see you soon in our next. Hey, guys, the sessions keep getting better, don't they? Now, please join me in welcoming Ms. 𝗘𝗃𝗏𝗏, certified leadership and career coach who helps professionals land fulfilling, high-paying roles using her unique blend of HR, recruitment, and mental health expertise. So I'd like to welcome Ms. 𝗘𝗃𝗏𝗏. Hi there.
Hello,
How are you doing
everybody.
today?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm super. I think I'm, you know, excited to have you here, and on behalf of the entire team. And I'm pretty sure the attendees are waiting forward to see what you have to share with them, right? So I don't
Yes.
want to take any further time of yours. The stage is all yours.
Awesome. I'm really excited to be here. And if people could introduce themselves, just drop who you are, what kind of position you're looking for in the chat so I can get a sense of who you are. Welcome to Beyond Burnout, how to stay confident and energized in your job search. This is a topic that is near and dear to my heart, and I'm so glad to be here to present it with everybody. So who I am. So my name is 𝗘𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗏. I'm an ex-recruiter and ex-mental health counselor turned career coach. I've helped over 600 people find their dream jobs where they work less, make more money, and finally feel happy and fulfilled doing work that they love. Some of the nitty-gritty pieces about me, I am a certified human resources leader, a certified professional resume writer, a certified career strategist, a certified leadership coach. So all of the certifications. I recruited for 15 years across many industries. IT was my very first industry that I recruited in. I also worked in human resources a little bit during that time. So kind of really understanding the mindset of what goes on during the whole recruitment process, from the job posting or like when a new job gets even approved, all the way to onboarding an individual. And my mental health counselor psychology background really means that I'm super interested in motivations. So it gives me a very unique approach to everything. 7 years ago, I launched my career coaching business, which was the scariest and best thing I've ever done in my entire life. But I believe career dreams still happen. I'm also an indie author. I recently published 2 romance novels for fun. So, and because of my background in psychology and in mental health, the concept of burnout and the weighing down of job searches that I know definitely happened to me in the past is really important to me, that I don't think it gets talked enough about. So I'm really looking forward to diving into all of the different things we're learning today. So we're going to talk about the job search roller coaster. We're going to talk about why burnout even happens. We're going to talk about the sustainable job search and what that looks like, what it means to stay confident, and how to manage your energy. So first of all, I want to quickly have you do a poll. Who is feeling burnt out in their job search? Let me know. And burnout looks differently for so many different people. There's overwhelm, there's exhaustion, there's that little bit of anxiety that just never really seems to go away. There's confusion, there's disappointment, hopelessness. It's a big mix. In fact, the 3rd book I'm writing is dealing with burnout. So it's interesting kind of being in that world in that sense as well. But it is something that definitely happens in job searches, and it's something that holds you back. And so it's something that we need to take care of, even if you're on your way to burnout. And I'm happy to see a few of you aren't. So you can keep doing that. I'm just going to hide it, but you can keep answering the poll. Okay, so I'm actually going to do another poll. We're talking about the job search roller coaster. So let me go through this, and then I'm going to figure out where you are. So I find there are 3 emotional phases of the job search. There's the excitement phase of, oh my gosh, it's happening. I can't wait to quit my job, or I know that offer is right around the corner. It is coming. And then oftentimes things don't happen as quickly. Like the average job search in Canada is anywhere from 6 to 9 months to 4 to 7 months, depending on who we are polling and surveying, but it isn't short. So then things don't happen quickly. And so then we get into the fix-it phase of looking for those Band-Aids. Like, why isn't this working? What's wrong with me, with my resume? There must be a reason why. And why is everything so goddamn confusing and conflicting? And then things still might not get fixed. We get rejected, or worse, we get ghosted. We feel like we're just sending things out into the black hole that is the job search and job boards. So then we start to feel resigned. It's not working. No one wants to hire me, and I'll never get a good job. And we end up feeling sort of hopeless, and then it's pointless. So I'm curious. Nope, I don't want to show that one. I want to show this one. What stage of the roller coaster are you on right now? And just like a roller coaster, it moves all of the time. So you can be in the excitement mode 1 week, and then the next week be in the resigned mode, and then the next week be in the fix-it mode. And it kind of just like goes all over the place, which is also exhausting in and of itself. Like, why can't it just be hunky-dory the entire time? So we have a lot of fix-it modes and a fair amount of resigned modes and excitement. So let's talk about what to do with this information. I'm going to hide that, close that one. So we're going to talk about the why this even happens. So the job search is essentially all rejection and uncertainty. Like, it literally is. Like, nothing is as bad as this. a really good job search still has you being rejected like 50 to 70% of the time. That's a good job search. So of course, when you are constantly being rejected or ghosted, which is essentially just another way to reject you, like it does not feel good. It feels pretty crappy. Like the roller coaster of that is just plain exhausting. And then we tend to, like, especially when our anxiety is high, we tend to stay on those job boards so long. And we're essentially doom scrolling them, looking for a new job. And it's demoralizing because we might not see it. Or we saw a job that we've been ghosted for and we've applied twice and they posted it again. Like it is demoralizing seeing that stuff. When we're checking our messages, like our inboxes, and just to see if our phone is working, like, and we see nothing, it has us questioning ourselves. And then those resigned thoughts of like, it's not working, no one wants to hire me, like those take a toll on us. So it's normal that you feel this sort of stuff. And I would not hold it against yourself if you do. Like this happens. So let's talk about fixing it. I want to fix it in a few different ways. And the first way is creating a sustainable job search. And we do that with two pieces. We have my success formula. It's the real formula for like banishing burnout and getting offers. And then we have the job search strategy, how to actually find a great job without dying a slow death. I'm nothing if not dramatic, if you can't tell. So let's talk about the success formula. It is mindset plus strategy plus actions equals results. Now, here's what I mean by that. Mindset is managing your self-doubt and negative thoughts. Strategy is creating a job search process that's sustainable and multifaceted, not one note. And actions are setting realistic and effective job search habits. Now, when you go on LinkedIn, when you go on YouTube, there is so much conversation about strategy and actions, but like you notice the first thing here is mindset. And mindset is the key to everything, because like, I know it sounds weird, but if you have a mindset that's no one's going to hire me, and then you try and write a cover letter with that, or you try and tweak your resume, or you go into an interview or a networking meeting, I can tell you from experience, from reading those resumes, being in those networking meetings, being in those interviews, that it does not resonate. Something comes across like negative at worst, forgettable at best. So managing that self-doubt and negative thoughts are so key to your success. Now let's talk about the job search strategy. I just want to give you some major lessons. I should have actually put this as a poll, but I'm curious how many treat their job search like a full-time job or feel like it should be a full-time job. Do not do that. Like spending 40 hours a week devoted to something that gives you nothing but rejection all the time, that's a surefire way of destroying your confidence and of going straight to burnout. Instead, I like to suggest, if you're actively looking, meaning you don't have a job, to treat it like a part-time job. So like 20 hours a week. That way we are way more intentional with that time. And then it gives us other time for recuperation and for joy and for doing things like maybe you haven't been able to do in a while, like organizing or cleaning. Or sometimes I also just like adding in that little guilty pleasure of doing something that you can not normally do because you're working. So yeah, please, Danny, thank you for saying I'm so guilty of the 40+ hour week job hunt. Do not do that. Like 20 hours, you would be surprised at how much better results you would get from an intentional focus, which leads me to the second bullet point. Have a balanced approach. So this means equal amounts of networking and equal amounts of job boards. So it's almost like every time you apply to a job, you also need to network in some way. And networking doesn't always have to mean you like talking with someone. It could be sending an email, it could be commenting on a post on LinkedIn, it could be creating a post, it could be liking a post, like, but having a balanced approach. So if you're spending 20 hours, 10 hours are job boards, 10 hours are networking. And again, networking is not just all networking. In the resources tab, there is a link to my YouTube channel. And in there, I have how to create a high impact networking strategy. And I go deeper into all of the key facets of a really good networking strategy. So this leads me to do not linger on job boards on LinkedIn. Like, job boards are demoralizing. And LinkedIn right now can be a little bit of a cesspool of negativity. And we have to remember that LinkedIn is a social media platform, and social media platforms want us to stay on them. And the easiest way to stay on them is to keep us feeling horrible so that we keep on them to try and find the answer. So set your time and stick to that time. I also think set actual goals. No to like find a job ASAP. Yes to goals like apply to 3 jobs and send 2 networking emails this week. Actual quantifiable jobs that then you can celebrate at the end. Now let's get into staying confident, because I bet many of you, your confidence has probably struggled a little bit, and we're going to really see where it's struggling. So I'm curious if any of these sound familiar when it comes to you and your job search right now. The I'm too statements, the I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too overweight, I have too much experience, I'm too junior. Or it's the fact that the recruitment process works against me. It's the fact that there are only ever a few jobs posted. It's a fact that there is just too much competition. Or it's the fact that the economy sucks right now. Like, there's that kind of like, it's the fact that. And then there's the I'm doing something wrong. I don't know what I want. I'm not good at blank. Nothing I do seems to work. So tell me which of these, and you can vote for multiple of them, that you are struggling with right now. Let me know. Yeah, get in there. I've seen a good mix of them all. It's wonderful what our brains can do for us and how they can make us feel. Seen a lot of the I'm doing something wrong. So I just want to say, if you're thinking about this, like any of these thoughts, it's no wonder your confidence is suffering. So again, just like having the grace, if you're also beating yourself up for your confidence, like no wonder, of course. So let's shift your mindset. So I'm a psych grad, I'm a coach, I'm an ex-mental health counselor. So I'm really focused a lot of times on not affirmations, but thoughts that we believe that make us feel something positive. So these are some of the thoughts that you might want to use. You might even want to like take a screenshot of this or take a picture of this. I could tap into the hidden job market, or I'm learning what I need to do right now, or I'm going to find a way to stand out, or even there's a company out there that wants to hire me. Trying those out shifts your mindset to hope, and that is so key. We also need to believe that it's possible. Like, that is so important. Like, if we don't believe it's possible, then it's never going to happen. So I couldn't make a poll for this. So in the chat, I would like you to, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you believe, sorry about the typo, that it is possible for you to find a good job? Not a job, a good job. 1, 10, 10. I'm liking some of these 10, 5s, 10. Good. 8, 5, 3, 7, 6. Good. 1. So a little all over the place. I was actually 11. Renee, loving that energy. I would actually, it would be so fun if some of the 10s and the 1s I connected. Because when we believe 10 out of 10, and this is how you know, you could just be saying 10, or this is how we test to really know, is how committed are you to doing what it takes to get to that result? That's when we're committed to the result, not committed to the actions. So we don't care how we find that good job. We just know we're going to find it. Also, it takes away the fear of failure. Because when you believe fully that it's going to happen, you care a little bit less about failure or the mistakes that may happen. Because then you begin to believe that it is just a part of the path to getting to success. And that's one thing I have definitely learned is a large number of my goals, I'm going to fail my way to succeeding. And I'm all in on that, whether or not it's public or not. And I'm a super overachiever. Like I was like competitive basketball player, like straight A student, teacher's pet. The idea of failure was like, no, I'm going to die. And now I'm like, I don't care. Everyone can see me fail, whatever. Like it's so freeing what 100% belief in yourself and your dreams do. So in order to build that belief, I think it's a good idea to ask yourself the question, how is it possible for you to find an amazing job? And what are the things you can do next week? Have a brainstorming session on the things that you can do. Okay, managing your energy. So avoid job search exhaustion. Don't ignore this. Everyone wants to ignore this, but this is so key. Schedule joy. Take time off from your job search. Celebrate your wins, the small, medium, and big. So that goal of 3 applications and 2 networking emails, you did it, celebrate it. Even if it's just a good job to yourself. Avoid too much time on social media and job boards, like I mentioned, and sleep, sleep, sleep. So how I can help further, in the resources tab, you'll see a bunch of links. I have my YouTube channel. I have my free downloads. I've included the one, Find Your Dream Job, free download there. I have the way you can find out more about me and looking how we could work together. And then I also, in the first week of May, have my $10 job search coaching week, where I have 7 days, 5 live trainings on resumes, LinkedIn, job search schedules, and interviews for 10 Canadian dollars for anyone who's not in Canada. Thank you very much. And I think I had another poll there. Did I? Nope, I didn't. Okay, good. Okay, I wanted to get to the questions because I know I'm a talker. How do we justify a gap in our current career market? No. I wonder how long of a gap it is. I think that's a good question to bring to the lounge to meet with me after. I do also have a YouTube. If you were to look at my YouTube page and search employment gap, I do also talk about what there. How would autistic burnout affect job search? Would it compound with aforementioned effects? I am not a professional in that space, but definitely it would because of overwhelm. And overwhelm in general shuts the brain down and you have to do nothing. But the ability to be overstimulated and overwhelmed happens a lot more. So then it would just be needing to know and take care of yourself properly. Would managing a newsletter work as a 2 birds, 1 stone? I'm not sure what that means. So bring that to the lounge and we can talk about it in more detail. I shared my profile link in the resources. Happy to connect. So everyone here, please connect with me. How to meet an HR and interviewer expectations in an interview and how to be an outperforming candidate. Okay, so this is a big thing. From a technology point of view is being able to deal with the ups and downs of a technical interview. So that the downs is knowing how to answer when you don't know how to answer. But I think the big thing is understanding that it is also you interviewing them. It's not just them interviewing you. I want you to be authentic and you. And the more you try and think about what they're looking for, the less you're actually present in the interview, building a relationship. I have a ton of interview stuff on my YouTube. I also go into this in quite a lot of depth in that $10 coaching week. And I think that would be helpful. Any strategy for financial support during a long job search? That's not a financial expert, so that is a tough one, and it depends on where you're living. I know in Canada we have EI, but looking at any government supports. And I know in Canada, depending on the province, there are also a lot of grants and other programs. For Arun, how to search for visa sponsorship jobs. That's a really unique question. Johan Mehta, he's on LinkedIn, and he is definitely, I would say, a career coach that's more of an expert in immigration positions. So he would probably be best suited to answer that question. But you could apply, like for any position that doesn't say you must be eligible to work in the country, then you can apply. Now, I do think visa sponsorship, depending on where you are and where you want to work, can be a little tough right now, depending. I am seeing some slowdowns, like especially in the States. I am seeing some slowdowns and looking to hire externally. Manisha, how to ask for job referrals from people over LinkedIn when you just met them on LinkedIn. You build a relationship with them. Asking them for a job referral is transactional. They say no, it's done. The relationship is done. So instead, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to connect with them, ask them for some advice, thank them for a post they maybe posted, build a relationship so that you could then naturally, as part of that relationship, ask about job information or job referrals. Okay, any other questions?
I see you're flooded with questions.
Just like going through them quickly.
But never mind, we will, like, they'll get to connect with you at your table in the booth.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, you can connect with her in the speaker booth, and she'll be at the table, I'm pretty sure, for a few minutes. And once again, thank you so much, Sarah, for joining us. The tips that you shared was really, really uplifting. I'm pretty sure it will be helpful to our attendees. So I truly appreciate your time and your expertise. Thank you so much once again for joining us.
Thank you, everybody.
Well, guys, I'll see you all in the next session, so stay tuned. Well, guys, we've had some amazing lineup so far, and we are down to our final session for today's event. Please welcome Mr. Joseph 𝗘𝘃𝗲𝗵𝗹𝗶, who will walk us through how to secure your next role through the Higher Tech Talent platform. Hi, Joseph.
Hi, hello.
How are you?
All good. How are you?
I'm good. For some reason, I cannot see myself. Can you see me?
I cannot see you.
Yeah, I think for some reason it has to happen in an event. So apologies for if not correcting, correctly pronunciation your surname, but the stage is all yours, and let's get started.
All right, perfect. Let me just see the presentation. All right, awesome. Okay, so hello everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Joseph. I have a really long name. I'm not going to pronounce that for you guys. I'm part of Higher Tech Talent. I'm really excited to be here and to share more about how Tech Jobs Fair and Higher Tech Talent can help both companies and talents thrive in the tech industry. So before we start, if you have any questions at any time during the presentation, you can just put them in the Q&A chat, and I'll look into it at the end of the presentation or in between. And don't worry, this will be a short presentation, so I promise to try my best not to bore all of you. I'll do my best to keep it interactive and fun so we can all walk away with something useful, all right? So before we dive into the details, I'll just give you a quick introduction on what we do, all right? So Tech Jobs Fair, first of all, it's not just an event. it's an experience that we create. It's about networking. It's about discovering new ideas and meeting inspiring people. So whether you are a fresh graduate looking to sharpen your interview skills, or an established professional aiming to explore new career paths, TZF offers something valuable for everyone. So for companies, it's a great opportunity to connect with motivated candidates and increase your brand awareness and stay ahead of the competition. You get to meet the talents in person. You build and create a space where companies and talents can interact naturally without the usual barriers of job applications. It's personal, it's impactful, and it's very efficient. So our mission is to transform the way tech hiring works. So it's by connecting companies with the right talent efficiently and effectively. Now, higher tech talent is where tech hiring gets simplified. So imagine a place where employers apply to you. That's the entire core idea here. So you build your profile, you showcase your skills, and you let companies come to you. It's not just about finding a job, it's about choosing the one that aligns with your skills and goals. So with higher tech talent, you can explore careers in IT, sales, marketing, and management. It's all in one place. Okay. So plus you maintain full control of your privacy. It ensures that your current employer won't see your profile if you don't want them to. Okay. So if you guys could give us an example of how would someone use this platform, right? And simple, like example, if you are a software developer and you're looking for a new opportunity, you create your profile on Higher Tech Talent, you highlight your skills, and employers who match your profile can reach out directly, and it's that simple. I'm gonna send out a poll for you guys. There you go. All right. And our mission here is to bridge the gap between tech talents and the great companies. We focus on roles in IT, digital marketing, and various other tech disciplines. So whether you're looking for a software engineer, a web developer, a QA specialist, or even a project manager, right? Our platform connects talents with companies that needs them. So why is it important to have a dedicated platform for tech hiring? And you may have that question in your mind. And answer is pretty simple. It's just that the tech industry has a very unique demands, and a focused platform, it helps both the companies and the candidates find the right fit more efficiently. All right. Okay. So we know how frustrating it can be to send out countless job applications with very little feedback and or no feedback at all. So that's why we eliminated the entire need for motivational letters and simplify the application process, saving time for both the talents and for the employers. I'm sending you another poll for you guys. What frustrates you most about the traditional hiring processes? Like, is it the lengthy application forms that takes a lot of time? Is it the lack of feedback from the employers, or is it something, the impersonal interactions that you have? Yeah, it's just that you don't want to be applying to a bunch of jobs without any feedback at all. You don't want to lose your time. So our entire goal is to save not only your time for the talents, but also for the employers. Now, for the talents, with one profile, you can access hundreds of opportunities and participate in multiple tech job fair events. And the process is really simple. So as I've said before, you create a profile on Higher Tech Talent, and you have to go through our screening process. And if you get past that stage, you are now visible to the employers. And if the employers found your profile suitable, you can receive job offers and you get hired. And the best part of it all is that it's completely free for the talents. So how the journey works in tech jobs fair and higher tech talent is before the event, you first create a profile on higher tech talent, and that allows you to join the events, the tech job fair events. Now, on the day of the event, you get to meet the exhibitors team virtually, all right? And that's when you exchange your contact details, your digital business card, or your email address, phone number, whatsoever. And after the event, when the employers find you a suitable and attractive prospect, they reach out to you for an interview. You accept interview schedule, so forth, go through the process, and if you get accepted, you are hired at the end. Okay, so I would like to publish on the poll here. So I just want to know if you guys have attended a virtual job fair before. I'm not quite sure about that, but let me know. Okay, so what are the current issues in hiring in today's world, in today's tech industry? So first of all, tech companies often face various issues related to transparency. So they have difficulty in assessing the candidate's qualifications. Not everything is true on the resume. There is no efficiency where lengthy, and there's a complex hiring process which takes a lot of time for the talents and for the employers. We also have the technical misunderstanding, like miscommunication between the HR and the technical teams. The solutions that we bring into these problems. So first of all, we conduct pre-screening to ensure that only qualified candidates are visible to the companies. So we're focusing on their technical capabilities, your skills, your cultural fit, how is your linguistic ability, and are you actively looking for a job at that particular moment right now? So this entire process ensures that we have high quality hires for the companies. And also for the talents, where you can find a job that is suitable to your skill sets, and so both the parties are happy at the end. And to simplify the entire process, so if you are a talent right there, first thing you go through is screening process at Higher Tech Talent. And once you're accepted and went through the entire screening process, you are now visible to the companies at Higher Tech Talent, and companies will now apply the talents that they like. All right. And at the end of the entire process is all you got to do is just accept the offer and done. So how does this compare to traditional hiring methods? Anyone has any point of view on that? Let me see the chat. Okay, so I'll just keep it as to be, it's compared to the traditional hiring process, it's the process that we are creating, it's more interactive and engaging, and it fosters real connections rather than just some transactional applications, which is boring, not personal, it takes a lot of time, and so forth. So unlike traditional job boards, our entire process is that we let the employers apply to the talents. So it makes the process much more proactive and efficient. All right, and I've got a poll for you guys here again. So what feature do you value most in a hiring platform? So do you think it's something like an easy profile setup? Is it like the direct employer interactions that you have, which is not available in the traditional process that we have right now? Or is it some privacy settings where you like your profile is hidden from employers that you don't like and so forth? Yeah. Okay, guys, so to get started with this entire thing, all you gotta do is simply create a profile on Higher Tech Talent, and you join a growing community of tech professionals and companies. And yeah, that's about it. That's just simple as it is. All right, guys. So thank you so much for listening to the presentation. As I said, it was a short presentation, and you can follow us on our social media platforms to stay updated on upcoming events and opportunities. I would like to know if you guys found this presentation helpful, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have right now, if any of you have that.
Thank you so much, Joseph. I think something is really, really wrong with my video. It's not working.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. But
Mm,
just keep it there so that at least they know, the face of mine.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much. I see people are still voting in, and guys, let us know if you found this presentation helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I see you have a question in here. So if you can check the Q&A section, do you want me to highlight the questions here for you?
Yep, I'm checking that out right now. Okay, we have the first question here. Does higher tech talent assure any interviews? Yes, yeah. We cannot give you 100% guarantee. That's for sure. It depends on your profile at the end of the day. So if you go through the screening process that we create, first of all, if you go through that particular stage, and all you gotta do is interact with all the exhibitors that you find on a job fair and present yourself in the best way possible to make yourself attractive. So I would say it's up to you in that particular sense. But if Tripti has a better answer for that, yeah.
Absolutely, guys. It completely depends on how you're creating your profile. So, like he mentioned, like Joseph mentioned, it's very important to complete your profile 100% for recruiter to see you, to stand out. So it all depends how you're creating your profile. Let's take another question in here. And there I figured out my camera as well.
There you go. Perfect. Okay, we have another question here. It says, how long does it usually take to get the profile reviewed by higher tech talent? A week or so, I believe, if I'm right, Tripti. Yeah.
Guys, and we
It
have
doesn't
talent
take that
advocates who
long.
reach out to you, right, for screening process. So, and I think if you guys have more questions, we have our team at the Higher Tech Talent booth, so you can connect with them and get your questions answered.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing, guys. So thank you so much for your questions and for being in this presentation.
Thank you so much, Joseph. Thank you for your time.
No
It
worries.
was super insightful and valuable. And like guys, he said, please don't forget to complete your profile on Higher Tech Talent platform to maximize your chances of landing a job. Thank you, Joseph.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Awesome. So now you can, I'm pretty sure you guys are visiting the booth and everything in the interval, but now again, you can utilize the entire time to visit the booth, network again as much as you can. And I'll see you guys in a while as we wrap up the event in a few minutes, or not a few minutes, in some time. Thank you so much.